What up, y'all? It's your friend Cal here with another video, and today we're going to be reacting to TikToks, specifically photography horror story TikToks. That's how I started my channel off. I made like 4 videos within the span of like a month, being like, let's bully people on the internet. Let's give my unsolicited advice and act like I am the one who can be talking about any of this. Big exciting news as of today, the 11th of March. The grand gesture will in fact be out in 11 days. Yeah, I think that's correct. I'll edit that to fix it if it's wrong. More updates to come, more announcements to come. Pay attention to my Instagrams, and let's get into it. My photographer ruined my wedding.
How was y'all's wedding experience? Because mine was ruined by my photographer. So me and my fiance decided to get married in his hometown, which we were both really excited about until I realized I had no idea who any of the local photographers were. So I picked a random one based off of their gallery online, and I thought it was going to be the best thing ever, but it was so bad. Did a few Zoom meetings and everything seemed fine, so I thought the photographer would be okay. I will say, however, I spent a lot of money, so maybe this is why I'm so torn up about it. I wanted a little bit of everything from candids to videography and even cinematic, which is what I paid him to do. When he came to my wedding, I was so shocked because he actually had a team of people, which I was happy to see but was not discussed. But let's just say, if you want to talk about cinematic, my cousin took better pictures on her iPhone.
Cinematic. Okay, she's trying to say cinematic. That hurts my soul.
Didn't even capture like the most important rituals of my wedding. The part that made me the most upset was the editing was just not as displayed on their website. I thought the least my photographer could do would give me the raws, but he couldn't even do that. For as much as I paid for, I just don't see why not. I get that photographers don't want to release their raws, but when you're paying thousands of dollars for some wedding pictures, I think you can give me the raws.
What?
If you signed a contract with said person and you did not look into what you were signing, most photographers will have it in their contracts. Most photographers will have it in their contracts saying they will not give out raws. Asking for the raws is like asking at a restaurant to make your own food, basically.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
A lot of people go into booking photographers without actually looking at their style or actually like conversing with them about what it is that they want from their day. It's just business, y'all. We also don't give you the raws because most people, when they get them, will go edit them themselves, do it poorly, post it, and tag us, so then it makes us look like a horrible photographer. Next one.
So we're gonna chat. Just made some lunch. I've been a photographer for about 5-ish years, completely self-taught, which means there has been a lot of trial and error, and I've made some really cute mistakes and just have like some things that I think about now, and I'm like, I cannot believe I did that. So I thought I'd share some, just for some kicks and giggles. First one, this might be one that haunts me to this day. And oh my gosh, it was during senior season. It was in the spring. I was shooting so much. I was doing senior sessions in the morning and at night. I was booked as can be. And I woke up early for a senior session. It was a morning shoot and it was about an hour away from my house. So I drove to the shoot. And I pull up and the girl pulls up and I'm like ready to go. I look into the passenger seat, no camera bag. I forgot my entire camera, not even just the SD card, not the battery. I literally forgot the entire thing. I left it on the kitchen counter at home. And I was so horrified. I just sat there for a second and I was like, what does one do? Because I was an hour away from my house. So if I were to go home and come back, that would be 2 hours of waiting. And I was just like, holy what? I'm like frantically calling every single person I know that lives in my house. And I called my mom and I was like, Mom, please, I need this right now. And so I told the girl, I was like, I'm so sorry. I forgot my camera. My mom can bring it. Do you want to wait for an hour or we can like reschedule for a different day? And she was like, I'm good to wait. So we just waited for an hour. My mom came and brought the camera. We did the shoot. Luckily it was in the morning, so it's not like the sun was setting, but
This reminds me of one of the shoots I've done. I'm always a very put together person when it comes to my photography. I take my business very seriously, and what I do when I have a client with me reflects directly on that business. I always try to remain as professional and put together as possible, which is funny because in every other aspect of my life, I am not a put together person. I'm pretty sure I'm raging ADHD, and this situation happened where I was taking photos of this couple at my house. You know, I wasn't worried. You know, I had all of my batteries. I knew where all of them were. They were all fully charged, whatever. The battery that was in my camera had died. It was like maybe less than 30 minutes into the shoot when it died. And I was like, okay, I know where the rest of my batteries are at. They're fully charged. I found 2. They were not, in fact, fully charged. And it took me another 30 minutes to figure all of this out, find all of them where they were. I was missing one still, and I didn't know where that one went. I thought I knew where it was before the beginning of this, and I didn't stress. They had 30 minutes worth, less than 30 minutes worth of photos done. And as much as I did get a fair amount from that shoot, I just felt terrible because that was the most not put together I've been with a regular portrait shoot. There have been situations in other aspects with things that I've never tried before, like wedding photography. My first and only so far wedding was chaos. It was straight up chaos. I was so badly unprepared. Only had the one SD card. I brought extra batteries. They died really quick. I also ran out of room on my memory card, so in the middle of the wedding, before speeches started, I had to anxiously wait for my photos to offload onto the computer of the people who I was taking the photos of. Yeah, it was just straight chaos, and there were moments like my camera died. The groomsmen decided to throw the groom up in the air. And I just sat there like, damn, that's crazy. It was chaos. I almost broke down crying at least 3 times because I did not want to be responsible for ruining someone's wedding. Be prepared. Bring multiple batteries. Bring multiple SD cards. And bring a lot of water.
To Capri, you were so chill. I am really sorry about that stuff. And then, okay, second one, I'll only share 2. I did video work in high school, like for a little class. And so I did videos, like personal videos for myself, editing and stuff like that. So like I have the capabilities to shoot a wedding video or an engagement video. It's just not something that I want to do. And I had a couple reach out to me and to do their wedding video, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. So I filmed their bridal session before, and as I'm filming the bridal session, I realized that like I did not charge any of my batteries, really. I had one battery that was like 50%, and then I had a battery that was like 13%. And I know this means nothing to people who aren't photographers, but like for a regular shoot, I could last on 50%. For a photo shoot, like 50% could get me through. It's not something you should ever do, but I was like, I'll be fine. But I was shooting video, and so it was just like eating away the battery. And you guys and there was a photographer there too. She was like mainly leading the whole thing. I was just kind of like following along and like adding in what I needed. My camera battery dies. Probably like we're like mostly done with the shoot. Like we're probably 80% done with the shoot, and all my batteries are dead. And I was too embarrassed to say anything, and so I didn't say anything, and I just like pretended to continue shooting. I had plenty of content for the video. Like, that wasn't the worry. I was like, I'm good. Like, I can make a nice video out of this. I just stood in the back, camera up, pretended, didn't say anything. At the end, they're like, do you want anything else? I was like, I'm good, actually. Thank you.
I thought she was gonna say it when she turned it on, all of it was gone. So, I mean, at least it kind of still went the right way. There was no need for embarrassment. Okay, on to the next one. Wedding Photographer Horror Story Part 1. If you're getting married, listen up.
$8,000 for wedding photographer, and when you raised your concerns, they threatened to sue you for slander if you spoke your truth. So let's get into a little story time. So I found my wedding photographer on Instagram, like majority of people in this day and age do. Her feed looked so bright, airy, but also had this goldenness to it, and I loved that. But the goldenness that it had still captured the beauty of like colors, blue, your skin tone, etc. You can see this is one of the photos from our welcome dinner party the night before our wedding, and it's a gorgeous photo, right? So this is when shit gets a little crazier. Our wedding day was overcast. Nothing you can really do about that. However, photographers should know how to shoot in an overcast situation. So she delivered the photos, and of course, right away I'm like, oh my God, I love them. I love every single one of them. I'm like beaming of excitement. And then for about 30 days, I'm staring at the photos and I'm like, why is there something bothering me? Like, well, I couldn't put my finger on it. Until I realized I'm a makeup artist, okay? I was a makeup artist in the wedding industry for years. And I did my own makeup for my wedding. And I'm staring at the solo pictures of me and I'm like, I kind of look really pale and my makeup isn't showing at all. Like my hair has these red highlights in it and I look extremely dull. So I raised my concerns to her and she goes, okay, I charge X, Y, and Z extra to edit photos. I'll edit them to like enhance your makeup and whatever. Great. So what I'm about to show you, the top photo she edited to enhance my makeup. The bottom photo was me in real life. That was my makeup shot on just an iPhone picture. What did she put on my lipstick? What blush am I wearing? Like, what is on my eyes, my skin, everything? So then I raised the concerns to her and she so kindly said, you know what? I don't think we're gonna come to an agreement. So let me send you some of the raws of that moment. So when she sent me the raws, I noticed something. This is the photo that she sent me that I look like I have a black eye in. And this was the raw that I edited to have a brighter, more natural feel. And also I went into my eyes to make them brighter. Then I noticed this photo. This is what she sent me and this is how I edited it. Like, you could see the difference, right? Like the coloring, everything. To me, this is a better edit. So that brought me to look in even further to every single photo and dissect everything. I then came to the conclusion that I need to reach out to her and tell her that some of the edits felt like they were a preset that was copy pasted and I wasn't happy whatsoever. Especially when I looked through further and noticed that the filter that she put made my teeth look yellow. Like, what is that? My teeth are white. What is that? One last photo example. This is the ocean. It looks like we got married in Seattle. What is that? But again, it's a beautiful.
Why would you get it
photo,
printed?
you know? I'm not discrediting her ability to capture a moment because that she was really good at, but it was the post edit that I was unhappy about. If you want to hear,
we're gonna watch part 2, but I don't like this situation. You sound like a nightmare fucking client to have. You loved them and then started nitpicking everything. You are the worst client to have. I've had clients like this. Most of the time it would be TFP. I am still very much building a portfolio. As much as I've been in this industry for a while, a lot of my shoots have been TFP or just me simply wanting to get out and shoot. And it's crazy how many times I've given a free shoot to someone to have them come back and ask me to re-edit the photos multiple times. I've always done it. I've to remain composure, to be professional, whatever. There was an instance with one client who kept asking and asking and asking for me to re-edit every photo. Eventually we reached a point where she liked the image, but it wasn't my image anymore. It wasn't my style. It wasn't how I normally would have edited it. I loved how I originally edited it. But she did not. I edit with a little bit more grain in it. Sometimes I do a little bit of cinematic editing. This woman reminds me of her. Doesn't seem like she can be happy with whatever she's given. We're gonna go find this part 2. Okay, I finally found part 2. So let's get into it.
So I decided to call my photographer after I wasn't happy with all the edits that were sent to me, especially because it looked lazy and it was just a copy-paste preset on every single one of them. I'm going to show you a little video on just the moment versus the photo, just so you see it further.
Man, so good.
Of this photo too.
We look like we're in the Rainforest Cafe. Look in the moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I look like I'm a Simpsons character. So I text her, I said, hey, can you call me? She's like, I'm available at this time. We speak on the phone. I'm about crying on the phone at this point, saying, I'm so unhappy. I need to make my wedding album. Is there any way that I could look through all the raw images and just pick out certain moments that I could then edit myself? I will sign any contract that you want, states that I won't share these photos. They're literally just for a photo album for my family and I, and for Michael and I. And I was practically like begging her and crying on the phone, just saying like, this is my wedding day. Like this would mean so much to me just to be able to get all the raws and edit them myself. I'm
Ew.
happy. I don't want you to lift another finger, nothing. I will do all the work for you. She's like, you decided that you hired me. You knew my editing style and everything before you hired me. Like, too bad, basically. So now
Yeah.
I'm crying even further, and my husband gets on the phone. He's like, please, my wife is so unhappy right now. Like, this is our wedding day. You're holding the photos hostage from us, basically.
No. You. The entitlement is crazy. Oh my gosh, the rage that is flowing through me right now. The entitlement of this girl. No. She's not holding nothing hostage. That was her style. You liked it when she first sent them, and then all of a sudden you didn't, and now you're guilting her for not wanting to give you her raws. It is like an unspoken law in the world of photography. Some people do it. Most don't.
Like, what are you gonna do with our wedding photos? We're not asking you to do any more work other than just hand them over and we'll sign whatever you want. We even offered to pay her $1,000. She then says it's gonna be $4,000 for all the raw images. Okay, I understand that raws are never really given out for weddings and wedding photographers. But if I was a wedding photographer and my bride,
But you're not.
day that she's meant to get married, the one day, and you're not gonna make sure that she's happy, what photos aren't you happy with? Can we select?
I would do the same thing, but I would not give the raws out. I would say, hey, what would you like changed? What is the problem? Did you communicate that you felt like you're too yellow? Did you communicate your feelings instead of just attacking her art? You don't demand things. Yes, the raws are going to be expensive because you just paid a wedding photographer to do all this work, and now you're saying you are unhappy with them when you previously told her you were very happy with them.
20 of them. Can we just give you the raws of 20 of them? It'll be $500. What I was willing to work on something like that with her, slams it down, tells me it's $4,000. Too bad, so sorry. You hired me. You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah, she's right.
I did not know that I was going to be working with someone that wouldn't make sure that the bride was happy at the end of the day.
No.
When they had to do no other work.
When they had to do no other work. When they had to do no other work, photographers do a lot more than just take your photos. They take the photos, they edit the photos, they promo themselves. They deal with shitty clients like you. They deal with complaints from both sides of the family, from the bride, from the groom. They deal with guilting. They're their own advertising. They are their own marketing. They are their own location scouts. They still have bills to pay. You just paid this money for these images, knowing that it was her style, and then decided no, and then have the nerve to say she has no other work. How do you know she doesn't have another wedding that you're harassing her through? How do you know she's not at a shoot? If she is this great and this wedding photographer and her Instagram's this whatever, she's probably booked solid, and people unlike you are probably quite happy with her work. Maybe she was having an off day, but instead of respecting her as an artist, you went at her in a defensive and aggressive way, and then got mad at her when she stayed true to her policies. I'm done. I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.